Hello, and welcome back to Channel AV04. I apologize for the long hiatus. I'm starting a new job, and of course I've been gaming, and the sheer laziness of the dog days of summer have taken their toll on me, so I apologize. I'll try to make these more regular. I'm going to take this episode to discuss the Call of Cthulhu campaign from our Call of Cthulhu Game Again RPG group. We just wrapped up the summer campaign mid-August, and that started late May. So I'm going to basically use this episode to talk about that from start to finish. So enjoy the music. And hang tight, and it's going to be a long one, but it's going to be good. Let's start with the cast of characters. We'll start with myself. I am playing Wesley J. Chesterfield, Associate Professor of History at London University College. It's an adjunct professor's position, so it's not full-time, and I spend the other time hanging out with the group and investigating things. Liz is playing Constance Van Loon. She is a spiritualist who's very knowledgeable in the occult as well, and she's our primary occult person. Captain William Lawrence is played by Brendan. He's an ex-Navy officer, and he's more of our higher muscle, but he's really good with the sword especially, and he has similar interests, so that, obviously we brought him on board. Next up is J. Hervey Brown. He is a consulting detective, and J. Hervey Brown is played by Alex. A consulting detective is just that, merely a consultant, whereas the inspectors were actually the detectives at the time. J. Hervey Brown is married to Bridget Brown, who is played by Amanda, and they are not married in real life. And she is a history professor at London University College, so I sort of know her. And all of us are Londoners so far. We have Dr. Jonathan Noisewater, who is played by Matt. He is a London physician. He is the main doctor for the group. And he does more of the physical as well as the mental stuff too. Right. Isabelle Dupont. She's a French journalist. And she's the one with all the talking skills, and she takes pictures as well as I do, so we got both ends of that covered. So if one of us misses a picture, hopefully the other one has it. She does a lot of the in-depth investigation, the interviews and stuff. Right, those are the main characters that we started with prior to the campaign. There are two that were not appearing. Tim played Anton Kirkaby, the Inspector of Scotland Yard, and Greg played Sister a nun, a French nun, and apparently all words in French sound like that's apparently how us English speakers hear the French name of the sister. Those two were unable to join us for the summer campaign, and they were terribly missed. However, we did bring some new souls on board. Dr. James Mortimer, played by Caleb, is a physician in the moors where our campaign takes place, and he's the one that brought us the case. We have Lady Audrey Carrington. I'm going to call her a debutante. She is a rich lady who basically uses her money to fancy her interests. And she will be a friend of Sophie Baskervilles, who happens to be there. Not to get too much into the story, but we meet her a little bit later in the campaign. And Leonardo Mancini, an Italian army, I guess his best occupation is spy, ruffian, scoundrel. And he debuts way later in the campaign. So that is the members of Veritas, and Veritas is a convoluted acronym for the veracity of enigmatic and recondite Inquisition and Transcendental Abstraction Society, because in Victorian times we had to have big, long, complicated names for something as simple as the occult investigation. So that is the cast.